Time now for Night Court. We start with a real-life Grinch, first reported by News 12 in Brooklyn. Parents are outraged after a substitute teacher told their young children that Santa and the Tooth Fairy are not real. Public School 321 promises the teacher will not be back. Let's bring in tonight's Legal Eagles to ask if this could turn into a lawsuit. Criminal defense attorney Bob Bianchi and Washington Times legal affairs reporter Alex Swoyer. Great to have you both.
Great to be on, Mike.
Exhibit A. Listen to this parent talking about the Santa aspect of the controversy.
Santa is very much real and alive in all parents and children who believe. Stuff like this, that their parents lie to them, I think is damaging to kids. It's 3 weeks before Christmas. These kids are 6 years old.
Alex, what's your take on it?
Well, the timing isn't perfect, that's for sure. But I think that it's going to be hard to show that there was necessarily intent to inflict any sort of emotional distress. It could be a possibility that the substitute teacher by that age had known the truth about Santa Claus. Maybe he assumed that that was an age that everyone knew the truth. I'm an only child, so I can say I didn't find out for quite some time that Santa may not have been real, right? There's just the spirit. So I think there's an understanding there, as well as what the actual injury is. For example, I haven't seen any complaints about therapy bills or any sort of physical ailments due to the news about Santa.
Bob, your thoughts?
Well, listen, parents have to send their kids to school. What this substitute teacher did is an outrage. These parents have a right to raise their children as they see fit. And the use of Santa Claus and the joy and the innocence of it, and then transitioning that later in life when they're more mature to the values of giving, forgiveness, and gratitude are very important. And like that lady said, and I agree completely, essentially that substitute teacher said, your parents are lying to you. How dare he make that comment to them? It was completely outrageous. You know what the lesson he taught them was? It's a cold and cruel world, and he delivered it loud and clear. And you could be assured, Mike, last point, these kids suffered trauma. They went home crying to their parents. It's outrageous.
Exhibit B, Liz Phillips, principal at PS 321 to News 12 in Brooklyn. Quote, I guarantee this substitute will not be in class 1216 again in terms of any further action taken. I need to meet with the substitute and investigate further, but I assure you we take this seriously. Bob, is that enough, or could a parent potentially sue?
A parent can potentially sue because you just can't say, I'm really sorry something bad happened to your children. You have a responsibility because they are in your care and custody to make sure that the employees are delivering the teachers are delivering messages that are appropriate. And you would have to know, or should know, what your teachers are teaching out there. And you got to make sure that they don't do something that's going to traumatize these kids. What was this person thinking in making such a horrible statement to them? So do I think they're liable? I think they look at significant liability, especially that teacher.
Alex, did the principal handle it right, and what are your thoughts?
I think that a statement was obviously needed, for sure, but in terms of legal liability, it's hard to say that just because someone has their feelings hurt or was delivered bad news that they should have their day in court. And I think that that's what these children and their parents are going to have a hard hurdle proving if they were to file a lawsuit.
It makes you wonder what's going on in the life of this substitute teacher. Final thoughts from you guys?
These are 6-year-old kids. Nobody's going to want to go before a jury to have a jury determine whether or not telling 6-year-olds that there's no Santa Claus when their parents told them that there was in order to give them life lessons down the road isn't going to settle that case. And if they go in front of a jury, the teachers and the school are not going to look good. I say they're going to be found responsible for this.
Alex, final few seconds?
Yeah. I think that it was terrible timing, obviously, with Christmas just being around the corner. And then I also wonder why the Tooth Fairy also got thrown in there. It's a double whammy there for the kids. Yeah. So that was too bad.
All right. Thank you so much to both of you. Have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you.
Most watched.